What up, YouTube? This is your boy King Pookie coming in the house talking about some Bears news. We're gonna be talking about what is Ryan Pace gonna do in the draft? Is he gonna move up or is he gonna move down? There was a late rumor going around that the Atlanta Falcons were gonna trade. We're talking to people about trading their pick. Now they have the number fourth pick in the 2021 draft. Now there were teams that they were talking to the Atlanta Falcons, what about their draft pick because they don't need a quarterback because they're ready gonna keep Matt Ryan and that stuff. So for another year, so they might trade away their draft pick, and next year they'll draft a quarterback. But there was a rumor, and I would like the Bears to make that move, but man, that's gonna cost a lot in draft compensation. We got to leave from number two. We got the 20th pick, and we have to leave all the way to number four. That's gonna cost us a lot, in our draft compensation, and we're probably gonna have to give somebody on the roster. So I don't see that Ryan Pace making that move. And plus, do you really trust Ryan Pace to draft you somebody up in the tier 5 draft pick? What about it could be a bust? How Trubisky, they moved up to get Trubisky. So, but yeah, there was a rumor going around that the Dallas Cowboys and the Bears are making a blackbuster trade in the draft, which they hold. I think they hold the 10th pick in the draft, and really the Dallas Cowboys don't have to draft a quarterback because they already have Dak Prescott and then stuff. So for next year, because he's gonna come back from that injury, so they might not they might just trade away their draft pick. But I'm just afraid about look what remember the Herschel Walker deal where they traded all those draft picks to Dallas, and Minnesota got Herschel Walker from the Dallas Cowboys, and look what happened. All those draft picks helped the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. So that's what I'm afraid. With that, all the picks that Ryan Pace is probably gonna give Dallas might help them out, maybe to get into the playoffs or win the Super Bowl. Who knows? But yeah. So I would like they make the move, but I'm just skeptical about Ryan Pace drafting another quarterback for the Chicago Bears because he has ever since he's been with the Chicago Bears, he's always had bust with the quarterbacks and drafting quarterbacks. He's not good at, and plus the Bears are not good in drafting quarterbacks and grooming quarterbacks and that stuff. So I really don't trust Ryan Pace. But this is his last year. He's probably gonna do something bold, try to keep his job, and I don't really think that they're sold onto Andy Dalton. I mean, I know that the Bears organization is saying they're going forward that he's QB number one, but he's only there for 1 year, and I don't think it's gonna work out. And I really don't understand how Bears fans think that Andy Dalton is gonna turn this team around. He had weapons in Dallas, and he had a better play, offensive line, and he couldn't do anything. He couldn't even take up to the playoffs. I mean, that was the shittiest division. The NFC East was the shitty, and they couldn't even make it to the playoffs. Could they could have beaten the Redskins to get in there. So But yeah, so now a lot of Bears fans are really pissed about this move, Andy Dalton. Um, but then the hardcore, I mean, like I see that the hardcore, like Bears fans, like the old timers, they think that the Andy Dalton's gonna turn this team around, which I don't believe it. It's like, dude, we're still stuck in 1985, and we need to go forward. We need to draft the quarterback because we never had a number one quarterback in our Bears history. So but yeah, we have to rely on Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy to draft another quarterback. And make another um you know, what about this guy turns out a bust? Who knows? But yeah. So in a couple, I think it's like 2 more weeks until the draft is coming up. I cannot wait. Um, I was planning on going to Cleveland, but I don't think I'm gonna go because it's just a little too early right now with this with the COVID. I don't know if I'm ready to go on vacation and be out with a huge public. I know that everybody has to be vaccinated and that stuff, but and I know you still have to wear a mask, but no, do you trust with that huge crowd? So maybe I'm gonna give it to another year, and hopefully we'll, you know, with the there'll be more people be vaccinated by the end of next year. So yeah, and then I'm gonna want to talk about the 1985 Chicago Bears, um, with with these three Chicago Bears talking smack and about the organization and stuff. So, but yeah, so I don't know if it's because they got hit too many times in the head, you know. But yeah, I'm just don't disagree. I didn't like what they said about the Bears and it really rubbed us the wrong way. And you could say, what he said was right about the quarterback situation, but I just don't like, it rubbed me the wrong way. And he was right about, that the Chicago quarterbacks go to Chicago to die. So but yeah, let's talk about the three guys on the Bears. Well, really, technically, one of them was not on the '85 Bears, but he is a Hall of Famer and he's on the Bears. And but yeah, I don't like what Mike Ditka said about this whole situation with all these players going on a knee, taking a knee and that stuff. Um, he knows for damn sure that that it has nothing to do with the flag and it has nothing to do with the people that are going to war. It's about like how the black man is being treated by the police. As we saw that this police officer killed a black guy, and then with the you know um George Floyd thing that all of these cops get away with murder, and it's like a never-ending story. And Mike Ditka, he had a big deal out of it. He said that he's from the old school and that these players didn't respect the American flag and stuff. So but yeah, and then he really rubbed it on the wrong way to me. And then we had Brian Urlacher, the guy that I looked up and a lot of Bears fans looked up to. He said to who was talking about the LeBron James and taking a knee down and stuff, and he made this stupid um you know assumption the wrong way. He said the way when Brett Favre lost his father, um, and then like he the next day like he turned around and he had a fire, but that was a bad example of how he was trying to say to LeBron James that he shouldn't have done that, taking a knee. these guys are getting paid all this money just to play this game and that stuff. But yeah, I still have his jersey, but I'm not gonna ever wear the jersey again. And then so yeah, and then like I know that he was friends with Donald Trump and everything. And then you know what? Donald Trump gives a pardon to his brother Casey Erlacher that did some um I think he took some money and he was in the I don't know what he was, a governor or something like that, and a politician, and he was taking money from people. So yeah, he when Donald Trump left the office, he gave pardon to Casey um Erlacher, and now he has a just won another term for, I don't know where he is from, what state he is from, but he won another term. So then just recently we just like Jim McMahon, he said to the that quarterbacks go to Chicago to die. And then what really rubbed me the wrong way, he also said that the Green Bay was the best organization. Really the best was this the team that did the cheap shot on Jim McMahon and slammed him to the ground. I forgot what was the name of the guy on the Green Bay Packers that did the cheap shot, but I know he had a bounty, and I think he was gonna go after Walter Payton, but it never happened. So, but yeah, he forgot all about that. Um, if it was Walter Payton, he would never say a bad thing about the Chicago Bears. Um, and I know that the McCaskey family are an awful and drafting quarterbacks and that stuff, and they really don't. They're too cheap, and they don't, get players and that stuff. So, but yeah, those three guys really rubbed the wrong way the Chicago Bears fans. Now, I think they already said that Brian Urlacher, the Bears are trying to move away from Brian Urlacher and trying to, but Jim McMahon, I know the Bears organization. I don't think they have said anything about it, but it was already mentioned about it on PTI. So I mentioned somebody in the Bears organization saw it, or when Jim McMahon said so. But we'll have to wait and see what the statement for the Chicago Bears if they move away from Jim McMahon. But yeah, I mean, now in these days, you just gotta watch out what you say. You might rub it the wrong way to somebody, and they get offended. So but yeah. So this is your boy King Pookie, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I think in 2 more weeks we're gonna have the draft. So I can't wait for that. So keep look out to stay tuned to my channel. Give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video, and join the King Pookie Nation Army. This is your boy King Pookie, and I'll see you in the next video.